welcome to another episode of Mood Food, where we explore the brain-gut connection and how you can improve your mental health right in your own kitchen. My name is Ellen Minier, your chef nurse. Let's get started. Today on Mood Food, we are going to tackle pantry provisions. In other words, what can I keep on hand that can contribute to my mental health? I'd like to offer a really big shout out to my friend Heather at MindPath for giving me this idea. It's a great idea and something that we will continue to explore in future episodes. So thanks, Heather. Today we're going to look at these three pantry provisions. We got almonds, cumin, and chickpeas. So let's see what we can do with these three pantry provisions. All three of these are things that I keep on hand most of the time, and they're great items if you want to whip up some quick snacks that are good for your brain and your body. Let's start with almonds. Almonds are a very important mood food to have in your pantry. They contain a significant amount of vitamin E, folate, and omega-3 fatty acids, which are excellent for your brain health. They enhance the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, which we'll talk more about later. And also, don't forget about your texture. The texture of food is really important when you're talking about mood. When you have a food that's crunchy, you have to bite into, the crunchiness or the texture of food can really be a stress buster. So if you're crunching down on something delicious, it can help you relieve stress. Almonds, great mood food. Let me show you a really simple recipe for smoky maple almonds. Now, you're gonna need about 3 cups of raw almonds. You're gonna need an egg white, about a tablespoon of pure maple syrup. Don't get the fake stuff. Get pure maple syrup. I also have here some maple sugar. Now, those of you who have been watching Mood Food so far know that I really like to cook from a mood food standpoint with natural sugars. All maple sugar is maple syrup that's been boiled down and crystallized and turned into this powder. Now, if you can't find this online or at a specialty grocery store, then you can substitute just 2 tablespoons of the pure maple syrup. This is your sweetener. We've also got a half a teaspoon of smoked paprika and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and a teaspoon of flaky sea salt. So I've got all my spices right here. This is a really simple recipe. All right, to get started, you're gonna take your egg white, pour it into a bowl, and just break it up a little bit by whisking. You want it to be a little frothy. Kind of break it up. See what I'm doing? It's getting a little foamy, a little frothy. This is going to be your glue that holds all your delicious seasonings to your almonds. So you see I've got it a little frothy, and I'm going to add about a tablespoon of the maple syrup. Oops, a little bit more. That's okay. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of the maple sugar. That smells good. And I'm going to whisk that up. And I'm going to add my spices. And I whisk it till it's all combined. Doesn't look like much right now, but I'm going to add my almonds and toss it all over the coat. So this is about 3 cups of raw almonds. I'm going to put it into my egg white mixture. And I'm going to toss it all together till it's coated. Kind of looks weird at this point. Oop, almond overboard. Kind of looks weird at this point. But you want to really toss in there. You want to get it in there and make sure every single almond is coated. I've got my oven preheated to 325 degrees. And I've got a sheet pan lined with foil. This makes for really easy cleanup, so don't forget to do this step or you'll be scrubbing off a sheet pan. That's not fun. All right, I've got my almonds really well coated in that delicious mixture, and it smells so good. I'm gonna spread these out in an even layer on my sheet pan and scrape all that wonderful goo out. Not one drop wasted. Spread this in an even layer on my sheet pan. I'm going to pop this into a 325 degree oven for about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. After about 15 minutes, you're going to want to stir it and pop it back in the oven for another 5 to 10 minutes. I just happen to have some ready to go to show you what they look like when they come out. They're darker in color. Some of them are stuck together. You can package these up in 1 ounce portions and you can give them as gifts. Make sure to be mindful of portion size here. We're talking about an ounce serving. So that's about the size of the palm of your hand. That's about an ounce. And they taste so good. You're gonna love these. Give them a try. Hey, it's Ellen, your chef nurse, inviting you to like this video and subscribe to our MindPath YouTube channel for more fascinating and fun mind care content. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you'd like to hear about. I'd love to explore more foods with you in relation to mind care. The next mood food pantry provision I'd love to talk to you about today is cumin. Cumin is a member of the parsley family, and it is a spice that has great mood food content. It's full of iron, calcium, and magnesium. Wonderful for stress reduction. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory. It stimulates the release of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is essential for memory enhancement. It allows signals in your brain to flow from one nerve cell to the next. So it's kind of aids in the communication between your cells in your brain. Awesome mood food. So cumin comes in already ground up version, or you can get cumin seeds. Now, if you really want a flavor punch, then I suggest buying the seeds and toasting them and grinding them yourself. Super easy to do. Let me just show you. All right, so I've got cumin seeds here, and I'm gonna, that's about a teaspoon. Do you see what they look like? Cumin seeds. I'm gonna put them in a dry saucepan and take them over the stove and toast them up. I've got the stove on about medium-low heat, and I'm just gonna give the pan a little shake, a little shimmy, and what you'll start seeing is the color's gonna change on these. They're gonna darken, maybe little wisps of smoke will come up, and you will get the wonderful fragrance of the cumin. Now, I invite you, when you're doing something like this, to take a moment and really smell these beautiful fragrances. They can transport us. Again, Morocco, Cuba, we could go to Mexico. So I'm just starting to get a little color, and I can smell those beautiful seeds toasting up. Beautiful. You might want to take it a little further than this, but this is good for our purposes today. So I've got a little coffee grinder here. This coffee grinder I have solely dedicated to the grinding of spices. You don't want to grind up some cumin and then grind coffee beans for your coffee tomorrow morning. That might not taste like you want it to. So this is just dedicated for spices, and I'm just going to grind up these toasted seeds. Sometimes I make a big mess doing this, but let's see if I can get in there today. All right. So we got toasted cumin seeds, and we're just going to buzz them up. Wonderful. Freshly ground cumin. And now I'm going to use this cumin in our third and final recipe. So what can we do with that cumin? I'm going to use it as an ingredient in our next recipe, where we talk about our third pantry provision of the day. Chickpeas. Now, I cannot say enough good things about this ingredient. I keep them in the pantry almost all the time. They're great to throw into soups, salads, to make hummus out of. There's literally hundreds of things you can do with chickpeas in both sweet and savory recipes. So look for more about chickpeas in the future. Now, why are these good mood food? Well, their content, of course, they're full of iron, magnesium again, folate, and choline. Now, choline is the precursor to acetylcholine. So this is the building block of that acetylcholine that we've been talking about on this episode. 1 cup of chickpeas contains almost 70 milligrams of choline. Again, very important for your mood, your learning ability, your memory. These things are great. So we got cumin, which stimulates the release of acetylcholine, and we've got choline in the chickpeas, which is the building block. So you're building the acetylcholine with the chickpeas, and you're stimulating its release with the cumin. That's pretty good mood food right there. So here is a recipe that I love, and we make these all the time, or some version of these. They're roasted chickpeas with spices. This version is spicy roasted chickpeas with cumin. So I've got 2 16-ounce cans of chickpeas. 1 can's already on here. So what you want to do is drain them and rinse them, and then I have a clean kitchen towel placed over a sheet pan that's been lined with foil. Always line with foil. Makes it super easy to clean up. So I've got my towel here, and you want to dry the chickpeas off. So here they come out of the can. I'm going to put them right on the towel, and then I'm going to kind of roll them around on the towel until they dry off. So the reason I put them on the sheet pan already is so it makes them super easy to transport. Otherwise, you're going to have little chickpeas rolling all over your kitchen. So by having the towel right here, I can go ahead and dry them off, gather up the towel, and then use that as a funnel. Whoop. 1 got away anyway. Oh well. 1's better than the whole 2 cans, I guess. So I've got both my cans of chickpeas on the sheet pan. I'm gonna shake it, spread them out. I'm gonna take about a tablespoon, maybe more, of extra virgin olive oil. I've got a little spout on this to kind of control how much comes out. So we're gonna drizzle, drizzle, drizzle. I'd say that's about a tablespoon of olive oil. And then again, I'm gonna give my pan a shake to kind of roll those around in the oil so that the spices can stick to them. In my little spices here, I've got about 2 teaspoons of the cumin that, remember, before we toasted and ground in the spice grinder. If you don't want to do that, just buy already ground cumin and use it that way. So I've got about 2 teaspoons of cumin, about 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper for that spice and that kick, and a teaspoon of granulated garlic, and about a teaspoon of flaky sea salt. So those are my spices. I'm gonna sprinkle those all over my chickpeas. And again, I'm gonna give that pan a really good shake. I'm gonna get my hands in here too to kind of roll everything around. Remember, clean hands are a cook's best tool, so it's kind of fun to play with your food. So I'm going to make sure every chickpea is coated in that mixture. Make sure they're in a single layer on my sheet pan, and then into the oven they go. My oven's been preheated to 400 degrees, and I'm gonna put them in there for about 20 minutes and then give them a shake. And then in about 10-minute increments from there on, I'm gonna keep checking them until they're at the doneness that I like them. You can see here how they've kind of shrunken up and they got real crispy. Really good. These are such a good snack. You can pack them in your lunchbox. You can throw a baggie of them in your bag for the day. You can keep a bag of them in your car. You can put them on top of salads. These things are an awesome snack and a wonderful mood food. Woo, little spicy, little salty, and that beautiful flavor of the cumin is coming right through. Love these. You might want to give these a try. Thank you so much for watching Mood Food today and for joining me on the path to mental wellness through our culinary adventures together. Be well, everybody.